Yes. Hey, welcome to our second episode here. I'm back with IFBB Pro Emeric Delzceg, and we're going to do a little talking on growth factors, a little talking on working out, a little talking on bodybuilding, period. I'm excited to bring Emeric in for another episode here. As I've stated before, I'm lucky enough to have Emeric as a friend, and that's why I'm trying to share Emeric with everybody I care about, because it's important. Emeric is, I guess, saving many, many lives and enriching the lives of many, many people, and somebody as beneficial to him in the world. I feel like it's my obligation to definitely share you with everybody. Emeric, thanks for coming back, man.
So I made a couple of notes. So we're gonna be talking not in 200 different things. We're focusing on some growth factors. Why, when we get older, we have hard time to hold on muscle, why we lose muscle, and why it's harder to put up muscle. Okay, so that's like I mentioned previously. We, no matter how we go left and right, IGF-1, testosterone, we end up, the main problem, not enough fibrous growth factors. No matter which way we go, we're going to end up exactly the problems is from there. So the fibrous growth factors are essential for cell renewal, and also they involved in muscle stem cell regeneration. So when everybody knows that IGF-1 is very important to satellite activation. That's very important. And even when you're old, you exercise, you can increase the IGF-1. But how you increase, most importantly, two of the many growth factors, fibrous growth factors, two of them is very important for satellite activation and muscle stem cell regeneration. Fibrous growth factor number 2 and fibrous growth factor number 6. Okay, as we age, you can help, it will diminish. Now, in some people, it will diminish more than others. Active people, healthy lifestyle, it stays longer. So like John with the rubber band, the balance, etc. That's all help to regenerate IGF-1. Now, IGF-1 can regenerate it. Also, IGF-1, if it's necessary, you can inject if it's necessary. Now, but how are we going to be increase the fibrous growth factors? We born with this. So when you're born with this is it's with you the rest of your life. And if it gets less, you're out of luck. Now, some growth factors can be replaced from diet. You can get some growth factors from raw milk, raw eggs, or supplementation, the colostrum, from colostrum for the milk, pregnant cow milk. But it's not, doesn't contains the growth factors which are created us. So these growth factors are very important for babies from mother's milk or for the baby cows from mother's milk. But the baby cow came out developed. Why? Because these growth factors I'm talking about, those the one helped the little cow or the baby, human baby, or any mammals to have vascular system, organs, etc. So these particular two growth factors I'm talking about, if start diminishing, what people notice, they start losing muscle. They have hard time to slow down muscle waste. Even they start exercising. I'm 70, I will be 71, and I know many of my generation, younger, 16 years younger than me, 10 years, Ronnie Coleman is 16 years younger than me. So they are complaining it's time to retire because they're using the same drugs, trenbolone, testosterone, growth hormone, insulin, and still they said, I can't push it anymore that much. I don't recover that much. The muscle waste is happening because all those trenbolone and all those hormones, they are not fibrous growth factors. They, when we're developing in embryo stage, our body doesn't give us trenbolone, doesn't give NFR. So that two different chemicals getting to the body. So for many, many years now, almost 30 years, I'm talking about these growth factors. And I know there were many people still, without even trying it, they're making fun because they're looking for something to replace the drugs, hormone, testosterone, and other androgenic product they're taking. It doesn't work anymore. So they're looking for something else. It's not something else. It's the growth factors. So it doesn't matter what kind of genetics you have. It comes time when you're gonna start diminishing these growth factors.
Correct.
Now look at people with good genetics and they healthy. Of course, they had also a nice balanced diet. Most of the people, they live long and they don't diminish as much because they are not exposed to toxic environment. They're not exposed to chemicals from all kind of foods we have in our life. They're living up in the mountains. They grow their stuff. They have no technology. They're not sitting from the computer. I should cut back sitting computer because it's not healthy, but I'm lucky because I take the growth factors. So my body's functioning as same as functioned when I was 20 years old. Okay, so those will listen to this program and they have any doubts about, and they have gurus and they're telling, add to the stack this drug, add to that drug. It's not going to help. You need to replace and regulate this very important fibrous growth factors. Now, these two fibrous growth factors, I'm talking regarding muscle gain repair, because people they're watching this show probably all involved in physical fitness, bodybuilding, and they want get to the point where, okay, I'm not competing anymore, but I would like to look not when I was competing because, look like a monster, but I want to look where I'm 60, 70, and I look
Great for your age.
great, I feel great, and other people your age, they stop, sir, may I ask you, I know you're not 20 years old, why you look so great? What you doing? Saturday I had to meet somebody in San Carlos at Starbucks. I was waiting for the Starbucks. It was kind of sunny, nice. I didn't have to put on the coat. So I was just in regular like this. And there were people walking out. They were all over 40, 50, 70, and they all stopped me. See, I don't see myself, but when I don't look like Nick Walker, so all these top guys on Olympic stage. But when you not on stage and you just normal people around, you stick out from the crowd immediately. Because it's just the way. You look somebody. Many times I was flying with the airplane, and you're sitting with your people. I can almost tell people walking in something special about because you have this aura in your body. You have this look on your face. You have some energy coming out. So being healthy, it's also you radiate out some really nice energy. People around you, just close, you can train without knowing they feel a little better just around you because you entire aura, your color in the body, it's blue or purple, and when it's in a good range, it goes out about almost 2 meters. So you have this healthy aura, energy, magnetic electric field around you.
Yeah.
If somebody is nearby you, really close to you, without you knowing, it will benefit from you. It will benefit from you.
It's funny that, and I'm happy that you're saying that stuff, because that's a lot of stuff that I personally put a lot of effort in, and we're talking about well, they would sum of that up as quantum physics.
Yes.
But that's coming from, some people don't seem to understand that is it's a very real thing. We have all these electromagnetic fields and different poles and things like that from our demeanor, how healthy we are, what radiates off of us, and other people grasp that.
Yeah.
Just because we can't see it with our physical eye doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we all know that when you're around a bunch of like healthy, attractive, successful people that are camaraderie and having a good time, just that energy, it's very captivating.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep friends such as yourself. That's what's important to me, is keeping that friend group of people that are just like we are.
A very, very good friend of mine who's originally from Croatia. He's about 15 years younger than me. He was very, very ill. He lost almost 80 pounds, and I'm not going to go why this happened to him, because
Long story.
it has something do something to the injection they gave people a while back,
Oh, yeah.
So then I was really concerned. So I was visiting him, and he had this look like death, like the skin, not almost like yellowish, yellowish. And he was in bed,
Yeah.
he couldn't stand up,
Jaundice.
and I sit next to him, and I was holding his hand and patting his head. I was there maybe 2 hours, and his wife came in. He said, "Oh my God, his face color, it's a little better, a little better." And I said, because I explained to her, because I have this aura, because I'm healthy. So I have my electric magnetic field correctly. So I'm nearby. So right now I'm transforming out my aura energy to him electric magnetic field, because probably he's totally destroyed. And also I gave him Humanifort, also my other supplements, and I gave him a special diet, and he's gained back 70 pounds. And he's happy as walking around. And I'm not 100% sure, probably if I wouldn't go visit him and spend time with and give him advice and change his diet and thinking, probably he would be dead. Probably not 100%, but I saw how he changed. That's me being 2 hours.
No,
Now,
I believe you, Emeric, and I have similar stories. I I feel very blessed with what we all share and know in our friend group. I too have reached out and helped a few friends, and just that that inspiringness you have around people, and all of a sudden they start changing their lives. And the human, and I want to ramble, but the Humanifort, ever since I started taking it, everybody's it's obviously my diet and training and just my train of thought, but the Humanifort's added to it. It's helped everything along. I'm actively starting to look younger. I looked 5-6 years older a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and that again, it takes us back again. What's the Humanifort and where it's coming from? So it's coming from the first step of life creation, either a human or animal, is the first step. So you have to look where it's coming from and
Cell splitting.
what is responsible and how these growth factors stays with you the rest of your life. And then, of course, like I mentioned, it depends also healthy lifestyle, activity, exercise always helps. Doesn't matter what exercise, it always helps. Healthy mind, healthy body. It's a marriage that goes together. You can have a healthy body, looking healthy body, and not healthy mind, and that happens with many this young generation, uh, not just bodybuilders but bodybuilders, because they don't realize that pushing those high androgenic compounds that affects the neurons in the brain, and then you have not good normal levels neurons, they're dying out. Now you mentally also it's not anymore healthy, because you can have all kind of stuff, depression, you can be suicidal, all things can happen. But the most dangerous thing is that when you get older and you start destroying these neurons on your 20s, then you get to the age 45, 50, and suddenly it shows up early stage dementia. It can be when your neurons dies out, can happen. You can end up dementia, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, Huntington disease. Huntington disease actually is a genetic disorder, so let's take this out. So the Parkinson's, dementia, and Alzheimer's, what they have in common is no cure. In common, you have the neurons they dying out. What's responsible to keep neurons regenerating? Nerve growth factors. Now, these nerve growth factors, like that, we're born with that, and that nerve growth factors, it's involved in every single nerve in your body, from down to your tip of fingers, everywhere. So just imagine this nerve that start to diminish. It get diminished when they get older anyway. That's why people they get dementia at old age.
If
So
nerves,
just
yeah, if
imagine, just
nerves diminish to anything, and that will start to diminish.
yeah,
Uh, the nerves to the skin. We know that if we have nerve damage to a muscle, it'll atrophy, it'll shrink,
yeah,
everything, even, and it's no different than in your brain.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's why I do not say, "Oh, you're 20 years old, you don't need a human effort," because when you're that young, you recover quick because you have all this growth factors on a really good range. However, if you push it hard, like some athletes, the age 20, they're pushing it very hard. Uh, Talking about Olympic weightlifting, they're mostly bodybuilders, because bodybuilders are became addicted to the look. So it's a different kind of mental addiction. It's not you're not addicted to a drug, you're addicted to the look, you know. And some guys, they just cannot stand, I will get smaller. Well, of course, you get smaller because, first of all, uh, your growth factors diminishing. Also, you now have other priorities. You know, suddenly you have grandchildren, you have kids. Suddenly say, wait a second, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spend my rest of life same thing like did before: eat, sleep, work out, eat, sleep. You know, you have other priorities. You want to enjoy your families. You want to enjoy your grandchildren, and you know, if you're lucky enough, you can enjoy great grandchildren too. You know, so should be. I would like to see more and more great grandparents, because right now we're grandparents, great grands. I met both my great grandparents from both sides, my mother's side and my father's side. But you know what? They were all living in the country. They were farmers, ranch. They had their own food.
Healthy.
How many people they're gonna see their great grandfather only if they start making kids at age 13? You know, so you know, So also, one also want to talk about, so all these growth factors are necessary recovery, but another mistake I see in the gyms, they have no total commitment, discipline, focus
Yeah,
to
everybody's on
work
their
out.
smartphones.
So you have to marry the muscle and brain connection together. So uh, going to the gym, the way I just want to tell how I did all my life. Evening, when I go in bed, I start doing, believe it or not, I'm already sort of kind of thinking what I'm going to work out tomorrow. So in the morning when I wake up, I'm already, even I'm making my breakfast, back of mind, I'm getting excited. I'm going to do chest. Okay, so you get to the gym. So the way it happens, those probably never heard about this. Everything starts with a visualization. You visualize.
That's the
So
vagus
everything.
nerve.
Okay. What's the mean visualize? You visualize, you the gym, you visualize. Let's talk about bench press because everyone knows bench press. You visualize, I'm gonna start chest with the bench press. So already it's happening right here. You visualize it in the preload.
Yep.
Then from a preload, go to the precortex. Now, when it gets to the precortex, you're already on the bench, you're laying down, and you grab the bar, your hands and all, and then now from precortex, everything goes to the cortex because now you organize in your head the reps, how many reps you're gonna do, and you go for. Now, if you instead doing this, you talk with your body, hey, I'm gonna go to the movie, look at that chick there, look at that. So you distract yourself. So the visualization is not your workout, it's that girl's ass or something. So you have to, that's, sometimes, you see people just sitting, staring, and you say, what an asshole, he's not, he's not socializing. He's not going to socialize. That's you. I can tell. I know that he's focusing, he's visualizing, he's
Yeah.
organizing. That's the right way. So also, what's another one? It can affect your workout. Somebody yelling, one more, one more, one more, one more. Because if you have workout partners, you work out together, it has to be like a team because a workout partner can help you or stay in your way to get better. So the workout partner has to be really in tone with you and has to know that you're doing 12 reps. You can tell him, hey, listen, I'm going to do 13, but if I can go further, I'm going to go further. So don't start yelling me if I did 13, you have one more, because you have one more now because that's how you feel it. Yeah. So it's no reason to yell because that yelling one more, it hits the word because that's how our body function. And that can take, even it takes over 1%. That 1%, it may make a difference if you're going to be a champion or not.
Yep.
That's
Just
what it
tuning into just tuning into this person's words breaks muscle mind connection.
exactly. And
And
then
it's just like when we were younger and our friends would touch a bar when we were trying to finish a rep and we'd freak out because it would break that connection in our mind. Our mind would see their hand touch the bar and it
yeah.
breaks that connection. And
And what was the
I
first thing?
used to say the
And you
same thing, like, don't
and you
touch it.
and you stand up first and said, why did you help me so much? I barely touched it.
Yeah.
Barely touched it. Because
Yeah.
see, we don't know. Once an outside help comes,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know I'm helping you 10 pounds, 20 pounds, and you can have disconnected from 1 to 1,000 muscle fibers. You don't know how many get disconnected because you don't know. When I first realized this back in Romania, this is when they helped me. I said, I told you, don't help me that much. He said, I barely touched the bar. So it is, it must be something must be here because why? Because back then was no studies, no books, no to read. So I have to learn everything on my own. That's what this old school, like Vince
Yeah.
Gironda generation. Uh, 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 Now Lee Haney, it's a little younger generation, but even in Lee Haney, when there was no trainers, now you have all these trainers. They never won a contest. They never was in shape, and they give you diet plan. You know, the diet plan. So they never walk the walk. You have to go through and know the suffering and know what's happening when not enough carbohydrate, not enough sleep, not enough water. It's many things involved there, not just taking the testosterone. So what I was thinking about back then, let me do something. I put the weights on, and I had one guy on one side, on the other side. I said, "One, I get stuck. Don't help me. Take off 10 kilo." So because in Europe was kilo, not pounds. So I know I said 10 kilo, it get registered, yeah? It registers 10 kilo. So they took off 10, I know it's 10 kilo. It's not how much they lifted. And I pressed the weight, and I said, "Now you're going to put back the 10 kilo." Came down. And it was just unbelievable. And then I said, "That's it. It's too many muscle fiber get disconnected out help." Now, uh, when I started this with Phil, because had hard time to find two people. What he had somebody press the bar down, like on the press, but never help up, just down. Now that's really good because you get extra load, even you don't know how much, because the muscle, it just knows it's heavier, so I have to resist more. Now in your head, you know how much the weight in your head, but the muscle doesn't know. Then you have 100 pounds or 200 pounds. The muscle knows this is heavier, so let me get more muscle fibers involved.
Right.
And then always I was talking about people. I said, when you do bench press or bench press, you don't finish up here, because you go, and it's no freaking way I'm going to do one more rest, but I will be able to come down again slow. So what you do, you finish down slow, and you can lift it, then something takes them off. You never finish up here because you came up. That's mean you came up, you came out. Now let me see, can I go back again? You go back again. If you're able to again, that's I'm talking when you're on less set. You said you want to go to a failure. Now this is not failure and put them down. You come one more down and you can't touch it. Now I don't do that anymore. I used to, because I do this negative back and forth. So I do this part of the exercise where I'll be dead here no matter what. I do that heavy weight down, at least 6-8 times, because I take off the load on a weaker part where you have no muscle
Right.
resisting. You have the pressing, because the pressing is supposed to be fast, more like a punch, like fast. So when I do that, that was one of my secret of my workout. I didn't, because the truth is, you can put size. It doesn't matter what kind of workout you do. You're gonna put some muscle on. You can do any. Doesn't matter. You can throw the weight up and down. You want to put some muscle on, but you have to be smart. So let's see, if I throw the weights, I put on. We talk about like a quarter inch.
Right.
If you drop the weight, you spend same amount of time in the gym. Now you put half inch on. So that ego workout, throwing the weights, it has nothing to do. Plus, that heavy, you cannot hold them on a full contraction a couple seconds.
Right.
You can't. It's impossible because.
Um, I was gonna touch on that. Another thing that I really related with you with is the fact that you don't blare music when you work out. It always drove me nuts people be bouncing around, just blaring music and jumping in. And we know if somebody's not a bodybuilder, they're just, a typical gym rat or something. Like, even then, I guess, the people want to have better results.
Yeah.
But the mind connection, like, this is your work set. This is the one that's going to make you a better person, like a better physique, healthier, you name it. This is the work set. And they get pumped up in the wrong way. It's pre-workout and blaring music and jump in, and their oxygen levels aren't up. They're depleted from, the bouncing around. You should be paying attention to your breathing.
Yeah.
You should be mentally thinking about your set, everything that in your life that has brought you to this set and what the importance of this set is to you.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
everything's laid out methodically. And then every single rep, you want to feel in your mind all those muscle fibers twitching and contracting and squeezing and controlling all the way to the bitter end. And that's going to force that muscle to grow.
Yeah. I do see, believe that I do some top pro guys, they listen to music. Of course, if you're listening to music, that doesn't mean you're not going to put muscle on. Of course, you're going to put muscle on. But
We're
without
trying
music,
to maximize everything.
Without music, can you be a little better?
Yeah.
Yes. So
well, those are the things, Emeric,
so
by paying attention.
those gonna watch this show, you're gonna put muscle even you listen music, even you do river dance in the gym between sets, you're gonna still put muscle on. But if you in a gym, you try to do the maximum and minimum time if it's possible. Yeah, that's what you try to do. So you can stay do jumping jets or whatever you want to do, dancing, singing, between sets, make an audition to American Idol or something like that. You're going to still put muscle on, but how much muscle are you going to put on? That's a question. So if you can reduce as much possible to prevent the maximum gain, then you should prevent. It's because it's up to each person. It's the person has to decide that what I'm going to do. I'm going to be very serious now. I'm going to leave that telephone in my car.
Yeah.
Or today I was going to the gym, and by accidentally I called my other good friend Marco Martioggia, and accidentally called because of phone number, because somebody's supposed to come to the gym, and I called him. I said, "Hey, don't try to text me or call me because I'm not going to phone on me on the gym. You have to walk in.
Yeah.
Don't text me, hey, I'm 5 minutes late or something like that, because I'm not going to know." So the phone has to be left either in the locker room, in your locker, in the gym bag, in a car. Now, if you have a situation where somebody's in a hospital and you're waiting for a very quick positive response, then you family member, it's okay or something.
Situations that would be acceptable.
That's different. But
that comes without saying. But I guess it's a good thing you bring that up, because there's always people out there that have got to bring up those sort of situations as if you didn't consider that.
Let's recap for these people again. Prelobe, front lobe, precortex, cortex. That's how it goes. It doesn't go the other way.
Yeah. And that's, if we're creating our own physique, this is another thing, Emeric. And I and as of late, have found out why I've had a lot of issues in life, and that was autism. And a lot of things make sense because I have sensory. I have a lot of sensory issues. I get very overstimulated, and it's a very bad thing for me. And I was at this rickety, cheap, corporate gym, and the guy played just loud EDM music and had extremely bright fluorescent lights. And I had to start wearing the blue light blocking glasses, and I wear headphones with just a binaural wave, like a theta wave or something, that just drowns everything out so I can stay within my head. Because I don't like being around a lot of people even. And I always, when I was bodybuilding, I always worked out in my basement. I never went to gyms. I
Yeah,
didn't like them.
yeah,
But if I do work out at a gym, I prefer the old dungeon gyms or the mom and pop gyms, the people that just welcome everybody and it's a
yeah,
camaraderie of the community. Corporate gyms, you know, they single people out on purpose for
yeah,
money.
yeah,
But
yeah,
another
yeah, yeah.
thing we could,
You know, I grew up in a communist regime.
yeah,
So you remember when with any uh, Olympic Games, they were always complaining, all these Russian athletes, all this, they not framed the day like this because they were taught that no distraction.
yeah,
You know, they ate, they went to the room, they didn't go to a bar and listen music. So
which
I
is,
was
I think it's correct if you're going to be an athlete in
disciplined.
training.
I mentioned I was doing Olympic weightlifting. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the coach was there. If you and me in the same team, you practicing. If the coach heard me telling you, "Hey, let's go tomorrow to the movie," or what I did, coach, he said, "Guys, grab your stuff, go home, and come back when you get serious." There's only one thing talking. If and nothing regarding that workout, don't talk. So uh, then I was visiting in Hungary. So I went to this club, Spartacus Budapest. So I was thinking about, I'm a guest there. So I want, that's the first time I get a visa so I can go out of Romania because they were about then we're going to defect. So even to another communist country, they wouldn't give me a visa because from Hungary would be easier to escape. So I went there and in a club, I saw guys and I was trying to ask, hey, anybody who works on a Danube River on a boat, they can hide me there so I can take me to Austria, So I thought I'm a guest, because the coach knowed me. He came to me and said, Emi, because my name in Hungarian is Emi, said, Emi, you a guest, but you know what? Same rules. If you don't talk about workout, get the hell out of here. So even I was a guest. So that mentality was there. You go to the gym, only workout. Now in Romania and all the other countries, things change. Same thing as here. Music, phone, distraction. It's the same thing. It's not anymore. They don't have that anymore. That really hard iron fist uh, education or mentality to suggest in you that only you became champion if you do this seriously too, not just lifting weights. You have to be totally tuned in, no talking about the movie, no talking about anything else. If you don't talk about that lifting, don't talk. So
Yeah.
that's why, do you see the gym workout, people they work out, some they in good shape, and what they do between workout, they talk about other subject, you know?
We don't, if for all the people you see in the gyms, there's not a lot of people that are truly what I would consider in that good of shape.
Yeah, I understand some people they go for
80%
social.
of the people in the gym are not in
Yeah,
that good of shape. And
yeah,
you call it socializing or not, every one of them, if you asked them for the same
yeah,
amount of effort, you could look better, would you do it?
yeah,
Of course they would.
yeah.
And it is that easy.
I,
I could help
yeah,
them do it with less effort, half the effort,
yeah.
because
I
most of the
understand.
effort they're putting out is a waste of time.
I know some people they get a membership for socializing. It's not as a bar. You're not going to run and drunk people and get in fight. So some people I understand that, but then those people they socializing they should respect the one that's not socializing because I tell you what I see uh, I see fitness girls and you can tell they're very serious. I mean they're lifting
A lot of
seriously
times the women
and
in the
they
gym are
and
a
these guys
lot.
they come and disturb him during they try
Yeah.
to pick him up and I feel so sorry. So sometimes I tell to the guys, you know what, she likes to train, she don't disturb.
Yep.
Why? I said when you work out mentally you have to be there. She's coming to have results, not trying to pick up guys.
Not listen to your
Uh,
dumbass.
This, no matter where you go, they every single place they have those. But
Yeah,
what's really bad, I'm talking about the generation which are like 14, 15, 16, 17, they still going to school and they have a spring break and they all show up like 20 of them, all with the cell phones, and it's just making noise,
is
you
what
know.
it is. Yeah.
So when you don't have your own private gym, unfortunately, you have to put up for this. Otherwise, you can you can work out. I will set up at home. I
I,
could get the
I work out at home most of the time. Uh, I go to a privately owned gym. It's not a franchise, and they have a separate powerlifting room. I actually work out in there with my X3 and I bring my stuff right there with me if I go to the gym. And I like that room because the powerlifters, when they are in there, they're goal orientated. It's the co-ed gym's full of the more of the douchebaggery.
yeah
The powerlifting area, the guys that are in there, the girls that are in there are all goal orientated. So I have that aura around me where everybody's doing their thing. You know
yeah
what I mean?
yeah
They're not Instagramming their ass or things like that.
yeah.
But another subject real quick just to bring up, I was Emeric, we talking about, bodybuilding period, and we both connect with Phil. And Phil, I thought, had told me most stories that you and I share. Obviously, you've shared a couple with me that were pretty funny. Um, but I just want to talk quick before we get off this episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
Phil, as he was paid by Joe Weider to do the Olympia.
No, no, I tell you the story. How was that? So I met Phil. He was competing in Orange County. It was a contest. I still remember today. Had a pur a pinkish purple sweat top, and I looked and he was huge. I mean,
Yeah,
but we're talking about what year was that? We're talking about he was 205, but 205 back then was monster,
yeah,
for his height.
yeah.
So I'm looking, then Serge Roubaix was there, uh, just seminar or something. So I was talking to my friend from Switzerland, Francois Gay, who was one a natural Mr. Olympiad. Also, he was lifetime natural Swiss bodybuilder. Unbelievable. He had one of the biggest leg spreads, including Lee Haney or Dorian Yates there. He had unbelievable leg spreads. The upper body was out, it's outstanding. His leg didn't match his upper body. So we were talking, then I feel heard my accent. He said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm original from Romania." And then he starts talking and, where did you compete it? So I was telling my story and we just clicked immediately, you know. And he was asking me if I know any Eastern Bloc, any secret drugs, steroids, stacks, what they're doing. So I went in a little on how they doing 6 weeks off and 6 weeks on, and I explained him how after 6 weeks or 8 weeks you don't have sensitivity anymore to androgens, and instead doubling the dose and adding different compounds. Then you have to take different drugs to prevent side effects. This is a better version. So he took my phone number. I gave my phone number, and then he called me, and then we start sharing my workout. I was telling how I work, and then he was uh, think about and telling how he trains. So he started incorporating this negative, and then uh, he was getting ready for he was getting ready for the nationals and the USA, and he didn't want to even compete. He didn't like compete. He was, believe it or not, he was a very shy person.
Yeah.
Very shy person, but
Until he gets to know you.
but in time he overcome this,
Yeah.
you know, and he became more outspoken. He was more because he didn't trust too many people. You know, he didn't trust too many people. So now
Shouldn't.
his sense of humor was unbelievable,
Yeah.
unbelievable. So
His
he
giggling.
he was living in Washington State with his first wife.
Yeah.
So I was doing the Trivistan, but also I had the energy. So it was a little vial. Actually, I think that was the first energy shot in the world. So the way it was, the core, I don't know, you're familiar with the ACG? They have a powder in the cork in the top, you press them down, and the compound drops in the water and shake it, they're injecting it. So this energy was the same way. It was a little vial and had a little sort of like a raspberry juice sort of liquid in the bottom, and the cork had the Nivaline, had created monohydrate, the royal jelly, and royal jelly, creating royal jelly, Nivaline. Yeah, they had this. So before you try to drink it, you press the top so that little space broke and the powder dropped in the juice. You shake them, took a top, and drink them. So we had a little tiny table there because also I did a first import. These shoes were similar with Odomax, but Odomax didn't existed, but it was very well-made shoes. So we had a booth there with the energies and the shoes. So after the shows was dark, so we tried to go back to his house. It was dark, so we're driving. And of course, we're talking to driving. And I said, Phil, is something wrong? We're supposed to house 20 minutes. We've been driving for 1 hour. And driving in. I said, let me look the signs. We're driving again the sign. I said, we've been driving in a circle for over an hour.
Always on
Yeah, yeah.
like a parkway that or
Well, it was dark, was no GPS back then, so you have to
okay.
kind of remember it.
Yeah.
So that was really funny. And then another time was another contest there. So we went to the contest, and they were the top 6 on the stage, and nobody had the number 9 on the trunk. So everybody's watching, they're doing the top compare posing, double biceps, front side chest, and Phil start yelling at number 9 is the best, number 9. All these guys, they stepped out looking at each other number. Nobody had number 9.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But I was asking you those off topic. We had touched on this before, and Phil hadn't shared with me. He never did compete in the Olympia, but he was invited to compete in the Olympia.
No, he never competed in Olympia. So what's happened
Correct.
when he won the
But
USA? When he won
but
the US, when he won
what's
the
his
USA, what's happened when he won the USA? Beat Greg Titus.
right?
He had a Photoshop with twin level the black what was owned as the Black Brothers Black something. They owned the Muscular Development a magazine.
I thought Phil did Muscle Mag. Was it
No,
Muscle Mag? Was
Muscle
it
Mag was owned
development?
by Kennedy in Kennedy.
Okay.
Okay,
Was it
so
muscular development?
they had a photo section. So Phil called me. He said, Emeric, can you talk to them as you my manager agent, because They told me they're gonna give me a contract, and they gave me a contract, and they start making picture of me. So I talked with them. He said, this is Emeric. I'm his agent, and guys, stop doing any pictures if you don't give him a contract. Oh, he said the contract, the attorney's writing up right now, and we're gonna sign a contract. We're gonna give monthly nice endorsement, income, etc. So I told Phil came first. I said, Phil, don't do that. I said, you know what? I trust them. I said, okay, Phil, it's up to you. They did pictures, no contract, no contract. So then I said, let me do this. Let me call Joe Weider. So I called Joe. I said, I have a friend of mine. You have to see it in person. You like big guys? You're going to like this guy. He said, okay, bring it down. So when we flew down to Joe Weider, Joe Weider saw him and said, call Lee Conrad. She was the one was writing up a contract. So immediately get Phil a $30,000 contract per year. 30,000 this day is nothing money. Back then, 30,000, you get 30,000 every month for sure. And on the side that you can generate other money. So Phil signed a contract.
Hell, I quit my job now.
Then I told the story about the black men's, how they screwed him up. And then Joe said, I'm gonna sue Phil on your behalf. I'm gonna have an attorney, we're gonna sue them. We're gonna stop them to use the pictures. But Phil said, oh, I don't want to sue anybody. He was too nice.
Yeah, he's still that way.
Joe said, okay, you don't want to sue it. No, but he said, they're doing a big mistake because I can sue them and you can get so much money from this one lawsuit. Phil, no. So he didn't get the contract to compete in Mr. Olympia. And the Mr. Olympia, Joe said, I'm going to help you. You have extra money so you can train. And who knows, someday you may win the Olympia. So that was the whole thing. But then Phil went to a very difficult time back then with his first wife.
Yeah.
So we had to do a Photoshop. Phil had to do Photoshop. So Phil asked me, said, can you please come with me Photoshop because I don't think so Joe gonna like the way I look.
Yeah.
The way I look. So we went there, and I remember Francis Benfato was also at the same photo studio for the photo shots, the French guy, Francis Benfato. Yeah. He saw Phil, because nobody saw Phil on stage with pros. And Benfato probably didn't follow the USA or the Nationals. He saw Phil, said, almost seemed unbelievable. So Phil took his clothes off, and poor guy tried to shave his hair on the legs very quick, so it had spots. It looked like when you do chemotherapy, you're losing hair somewhere not. And he wasn't in a contest shape, So Joe took me part of said, I'm paying me all this money for him, and I will expect him to be in contest shape to use his picture for the magazine.
Right.
And I said, Joe, he's going through a very, very, very hard time. So I'm asking you, please don't cancel his contract. He said, okay, Emeric, I'm not going to cancel his contract. And I hope, he will get over his private, personal trouble and get in shape. Because what I'm going to use this picture, what I took today, when he got in shape before and after with their product. That was intention.
And then marketing.
And then feels so bad. He came and said, Joe, don't pay me and you can use me as long as you want. And Joe was smiling. His shoulders said, no, Phil, you're too nice. I wouldn't do that. And I would not do that. He said, you know what? You have from family promise and the understanding. I'm going to still help you and give you that $30,000 a year. and then we did his first contest was Night of Champions, and we both competed in that contest.
Yeah.
He made Günther Schelpner look small. Everybody, you know,
Yeah.
holy cow.
Phil was
And
260 pounds at that show, wasn't he? It was like
no, he
260.
was he was two. No, he was 240.
Okay.
He was 240. So uh, if he would, so he needed to get a couple pounds down. If he would
He
compete in
came
the
in
show
too, yeah, he was too
235,
bloated.
he would win. He would win the Night of Champions. He would.
Yeah.
He was just that because uh,
Well,
he
he
still
told
had.
me the guy he was working with for that show, he shared that with me quite a bit with the Night of the Champions. The guy that I don't know who he was working with, but he said a guy was helping him, and he had the idea he was going to carb load him for the whole week before the show. He's
Yeah,
like, basically, you're just going to sit on the couch and eat carbs for a week. It was a terrible idea. Phil was
yeah,
a bloated mess when he showed up.
yeah.
So,
But after that, he uh, slowly he figured out what works for him.
mhm.
But because he had other tragedy in his life, ended up in the jail, so he was never able to totally have no anything disturb him. Finally, get rid of the first wife. They had another relationship with the other not house crazy woman. They ended up in the jail. So basically, he was not able to really achieve to be considered one of the best pro bodybuilders ever in the world.
And he should have.
He just was just he just barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
He could, oh my God, he could
He,
be. It
he would have
just that
been one of the
show that
best Mr. Olympias in
that
the world.
shows you when you have things interfere with you, full commitment,
Yeah.
it can really affect your results. And it's nothing worse than when you have a family problem in your marriage. It can really depress you, especially with kids, and have an abusive wife. That first love was very, very abusive. Yeah. Yeah. So it's other we have other stories of Phil, which I will tell you in private. you know. And then yes, he was a great guy. I consider him my little brother,
Yeah.
and he always every time anything had, he always called me, and I tried to encourage him that it's just a temporary life, things will get better. And then,
Yeah.
unfortunately, what happened, I know you were ready to donate one of your kidneys to him, and you
Yeah.
bought that new house, looking forward to a new life. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell, I don't go who get pissed off, not. He took the injection for the COVID, and that killed him. Here, I told him out straight out. I don't care.
Yeah.
People get upset or angry. That's the truth. His kidney shut down.
Yeah.
I was with him on the phone to his last breath. I was calling, and
And I'm glad you were, Emeric, because we'll have to cut the video off here soon. We've been recording a while, but just to share, when Phil died, he had told me when he was going to quit taking the dialysis. He said, I
yeah,
can't do the dialysis anymore.
yeah,
And I was trying to talk to him and I didn't hear from him again. And it was that second day that he had passed. And I at least saw that you said that you had talked to him right up to the point that he
yeah.
went.
Yeah.
And that made me feel better, but it really bothered me as a friend that I couldn't be there physically for him. I was trying to get down to Florida, and our
yeah,
plan was to live together and
yeah,
know,
yeah.
but
We still recording this?
yeah.
Okay, that's okay. So,
But
so, so you know, I'm, I was, I'm still very angry because he could be here with us.
yeah,
So this is a situation. He wanted to go take little Pamela, his daughter, to meet his father. His father, if his father listening this, I don't care if he get pissed off or not. So his father said, "Do not come here if you don't take the injection." I'm calling injection because it was not vaccine. First, it was not made as a vaccine. I know exactly how vaccine are created. So this was no vaccine. Let's put that straight out. So Pamela gonna listen to this show. So Pamela, I'm sorry if I, you know, probably I'm not supposed to, but I'm doing it because I really feel that fear should be here with us. You know, so Pam told Phil, "You're not gonna take the injection. You're not taking it." I said, "No, no, 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 no." So Phil took, but didn't say anything to restart feeling bad. He started to have some really bad hives, breaks, blisters on his skin, and he started feeling sick. So they took him to the hospital, and they said, "Sir, you have COVID," because when that showed up on his skin, he admitted to Pamela, I took the injection." So that's why she took him to the hospital. So they said, "Sir, you have COVID." And Phil said, "What do you mean? I took the injection. It's supposed to protect me." Well, we don't know. So then Phil gets really angry. But then what they noticed on his kidney was not fully functioning anymore. So his kidney was on stage of shutting down. So that's why they said it's not going to help dialysis anymore. It's over because he had underlying disorder with the kidney, and they injected something where it was not tested, that was not studied, there was not in the protocol. They never tested. There was no proof that it prevent to get the COVID or prevent you to transfer or protecting. Now it's out in the news, so I'm not going to get in trouble because I'm coding exactly repeating what was discovered in a huge convention in Europe where the Pfizer, one of the CEO, admitted that it was never studied. We've never had any proof that it's prevent or anything. So when Pam went to visit, she took little Pam. Maybe Phil sees the daughter will change his mind because Pamela thought that he is refusing because he wants to die the dialysis. But now also his state of mind started getting affected because Pam was talking to Phil and Phil was talking to her and he's talking to me. So he was not anymore state of mind and get to the point where he couldn't remember his family, wife and kids and friends. So uh, I spoke with a hostess. So Pam called me crying because when she went there with the Pam, they came the hostess to take him out, and little Pam asked, "Mom, what's hostess?" So she don't have to explain. So they said, "Your dad gonna go in the room quiet so she can relax." She was not able to tell them. Yeah, she called me, devastating, poor woman, crying. So I asked, "Will you please give me the phone number to room the hostess?" So I called immediately. So they answered the phone. I said to the hostess that I'm his best friend. He's like my little brother. I need
yeah,
to talk to him. And he said, "Sir, I don't think so. He in the stage to talk anymore." I said, do you think so Liz can hear my voice? He said, probably, but we're not sure. I said, what do you mean? You killing him? You put him to sleep? So they gave him, before they give you injection to stop your heartbeat, they sedate you. So that wasn't sedation already. So was all speakerphone. So put this in and listen every word I'm telling Phil. And if responding, you immediately stop further whatever you do, stop it. Because I'm flying immediately, I'm coming down there. So I put the phone and said, Phil, this is Emeric. If you hear me, please move your finger, do anything, any twitch your body. Because I said to that hostess lady, if you see any sign, you listen what I'm telling you to do now. No, nothing. I said, Phil, please, I'm coming. Do something. Nothing. I hear the was being. And then he passed when I was with him on the phone. I was so angry, crying, having tears in my eyes. So I hung the phone. 5 minutes later, phone rings. Pamela calls crying. I said, I know he passed away. He said, how do you know? I said, he died with me on the phone. I heard his last breath. And that I'm going to hear him the rest of my life. And I'm so angry on people. They almost force somebody doesn't do something and they talk them into it because they know that nice. And I hope whoever listened to me, I'm not going to mention those you private message me and asking me, I have so much followers to tell everyone took the vaccine. I said, no fucking way. And I came in my Facebook, I explained why I'm not taking it. I didn't say take it or not. I just gave you the points why I didn't take it, and I'm glad. And they take it and came out the truth, and I was right in 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 the way I was doing all the research because I have some knowledge on cell community growth factors. I check the protocol, every single paragraph, pages. I was looking for in the subject people included with liver
Any
function,
underlying condition of any
kidney,
kind.
type 2 diabetes,
Mhm.
nothing.
Not a single one.
I was checking. They're gonna check what's happened with normal cell communication. They're gonna check if this growth factor I'm talking about, if they can mutate it, if they get downregulated or upregulated, you can get all kind of illness, sick. I never saw that. Then I'm not gonna mention names, you know, and mention names, but one of the guy, which he, him, is Doug Brignoni. He said that I did my research and I trust, his research behind. And he on a Facebook, he admitted, hey guys, I know a lot of guys said don't do it, etc. So I did the research. I'm going to take it. If I die, you guys, you were right. He passed away. Now, can we say 100%? Because in the meantime, he was getting ready also for a contest, but he got many times ready for a contest. So it wasn't first time, So it's a question mark.
Yeah. There's question marks on a few that is.
Yeah, it's a
They're in the double. They're well into the double digits of bodybuilders we've known in the last year.
Yeah. So that's why I'm very, 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 very angry that his father told him, do not come here if you don't get the injection. Yeah. And so, everything would solve because the plan could be this: fly down to San Diego, grab the cell phone. Hey, Dad, I'm here. Come out. Let's stay 20 feet apart, not 6. You can't catch anything. And hi. Could be solved, man. Yeah.
Nothing we can
So
do with it now, but
so probably right now
no,
we have podcasts with Phil and enjoying having
yeah.
fun and jokes.
I miss his giggle, his stupid giggle, because you know how he always cracked all the jokes that half the time they were terrible dad jokes, but he just
Oh,
giggled like crazy
yeah,
afterwards. So, but I did love that about Phil, is he liked to giggle and laugh all day long, and that's that was one of my absolute most favorite things about being around Phil. He just always
yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
have a good
yeah.
time. So
Laughing, joking, humor is healthy.
yeah, yeah,
Laughing is health. Crying
yeah.
is not. You know.
No.
So
So
long as you joke and you're laughing, that's all healthy. All
yeah,
healthy. And Phil, it just was such a unique human being.
yeah,
He would give up his shirt from his back. He was, you know, uh, just tell you how nice guy. He did a huge purchase of Humanifort, and he's not still alive, and he's still helping his family if he's not here,
yeah,
because I still have the inventory, which I'm drop shipping for Pamela.
right.
So he's still here. He's still helping, even in spirit, but he's still here. It's
I
amazing.
feel I talk to him quite a bit. I feel like
Yeah,
I can sense it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Uh, you know what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah,
We'll
yeah.
we'll cut it off now, Emeric. You
Okay.
and I can chat a little bit after we stop the
Yeah, yeah,
video
yeah,
here,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll cut those off, and thanks for following along. And next week we'll have something else for you. I'll give you a little tidbit in a few
Yeah.
days as
Let's next week talk about how important to restore hypothalamus function,
there you
and
go.
how explain that 200 milligrams is not going to do it. 200 milligram a week is not off. Okay.
And then, all right, did you get the X3 yet?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
All right. Let's stop her here. Till
Okay.
next time.